All right, everyone, we're live here on the Ocean City Boardwalk between 10th and 11th Street at All Campus. This is the Ramp Booth, exclusively on a2dradio.com. Remember to hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn those notifications on. Don't miss anything Philly sports related, national sports related, anything you want. We got it covered here at A2D Radio. Like I said, we're at All Campus between 10th and 11th Street in the Ocean City Boardwalk. We're open for business. Come get some hats. We got a few cornhole sets left. Going quick, though. So if you want a team cornhole set, they're really nice. Come on down to All Campus. Pick one up. Hey, hop on here. Rant about whatever you want. We got some Eagles talk lined up today. James Bradberry's in the mix.
Yes.
Rumors are that Trey Boston, veteran safety, he wants to play with Bradberry and Slay. So we'll see how that develops. We'll talk about a little football here. Starting to get in the summer. Memorial Day is next week. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, and Instagram. You can get us anywhere you download podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Don't miss a thing. Remember to turn those notifications on. We're going to start with baseball and the Philadelphia Phillies. Does it matter what this team does in the offseason? Then they just come out and
Apparently
they just
not.
stink every year, stink out loud every year. So our poll question today, become an A2D member, $9.99 a month. Tons of giveaways, special shows, picks from the Money Pop podcast and Willie Vegas. So my beef right now with the Phillies is Kyle Schwarber.
All right.
So Kyle Schwarber is the Phillies' biggest problem.
Wow.
I agree, because this guy gets paid $20 million a year to go out there and hit 185. And you get a little grace period when it's cold out, but it's warming up. Memorial Day is next weekend. It's about to be June. Then all of a sudden it's going to be July. And then, you kind of are what you are after you get a certain
race for
amount.
the pennant's on.
The Phillies are in no race for any pennant whatsoever.
Come on.
No. John, they stink out loud. So I have a huge problem with Kyle Schwarber getting paid $20 million a year and hitting 185.
Yeah.
I know the back of his baseball card, he's a 230 hitter. But, my hope was that he would be up in that 250 range. The power's there.
Yeah.
And then all I heard was, this guy walks a lot. He walks a lot. I mean, his career on base percentage is under 350.
Right.
Which isn't good enough. At least they don't.
At least leadoff hitter, way too low.
Well, he shouldn't be hitting leadoff.
Sure. We'll talk about that.
He shouldn't be hitting leadoff. Well, Reese has been up there, right?
That's what I said in the beginning of the year. He's your leadoff guy.
Which doesn't excite me at all.
It does not.
But I guess it is what it is. Maybe you make a trade, get someone who can hit leadoff in here, because Herrera's not it. Segura's not it. Bryce isn't going to hit leadoff.
No.
JT's hitting 220. He's probably my second biggest beef. But
Yes.
Kyle Schwarber, I mean, he flat out stinks. He's not getting it done. And for him to be getting paid $20 million a year and hitting below the Mendoza line, I have serious issues.
Right.
Like, you paid him to be a bopper, right?
Yeah.
His power's here. Okay, but you gotta have a pulse when you're not hitting home runs. He's not giving you anything in the field. He's not fast.
Right.
Like, the only thing. So what? If this guy doesn't hit a home run, he's just useless. And that's worth $20 million a year.
What? If he hits 30 home runs, drives in 90 RBIs, is that considered a good year, even if he bats
not at
210?
No. That's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable to you?
In my opinion, yes. That's
but to me, that's what you signed them for. That's the modern day baseball also. Like, I can't – I'm not going to knock a guy for driving in 90 runs and hitting 30 home runs if that's what he's getting paid to do. That's what we paid him to do. For him to be a leadoff hitter was unrealistic. It's just not – I know he did it with the Cubs the one year, but that was his best year he's ever had in his career.
Well, last year was his best. So we got fooled,
right.
Basically, we got fooled.
Yeah,
and a guy that played above his means in a contract year, which we see all the time, especially in baseball.
Yeah.
And now he's paid, and he's not doing even what's on the back of his baseball card.
Yeah, he is.
You got to give me at least.
We thought he was, right? That's what he is.
No, we don't. We didn't sign up for 185. Basically June. It's basically June.
Well, what's he? I think he's second on our team in home runs, right?
Okay, there's more to baseball than whacking it over the fence, John.
Is there now? Because I don't think there is, and
yes.
Most GMs will tell you that there's not. That's what I'm paying the guy for.
So you have no beef with. So like, What is this? Yo, Buns. What's up,
No,
buddy?
no beef. What's up, bro?
Yeah. So I have a huge beef with Kyle Schwarber. I have a huge beef with JT Realmuto. He's not pulling his weight at all.
JT, I do more because he's always been a 275 hitter or better. Right? Schwarber's never really been that.
No.
And I can't expect that.
And I think JT's going to be fine.
So do I.
Because he started off really hot, and then he's just mired in this slump right now.
Right.
And it's brutal to watch. Look, I watched the game Friday for 3 hours. The ball never left the infield.
Correct. Yeah, that was
that's pathetic. I know
yeah.
Urias is a good pitcher, but you gotta have a pulse out there. We're over the luxury tax. We bitched and moaned as fans,
right,
for years and years for Mr. Middleton to go over the luxury tax.
Yeah, that's looking bad.
And now we're over the luxury tax. They still stink. And this guy, what do you think he's going to add to the payroll at the trade deadline now?
Zero chance of that happening.
Why would he pay more tax just to stink?
Yeah, zero chance of us doing that. I mean, the only thing that we might get is it moving a big contract to get a big contract, and that would be
who are you moved? It's like the Sixers.
You're moving Reese. Reese would be it. If you're moving Reese,
wouldn't break my heart any. Well, what's Reese going to get you back? What do you get?
A bullpen guy. That's it. You're not getting another starter. You might get a bullpen guy.
You better get a closer if you're trading Rhys Hoskins. I know Rhys Hoskins gets picked on a lot, but he is what he is.
He's our leadoff hitter too.
He's our leadoff hitter.
And he's our only one.
But he's not making $20 a year.
True.
So, the expectations that I have for him and the standards that I set for Rhys Hoskins are much lower than Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
And Castellanos has been good.
He's been great. I mean, he's batting, around 300, right?
He was 277, something like that, on Friday when he rolled up the bat. So, that's okay. But, Schwarber's killing this team. He's killing this team. And
because you thought he was going to be the leadoff hitter. You thought he was going to be the table setter for this team, and it hasn't panned out. And now you see a ripple effect throughout the lineup because we don't have that preferred table setter.
Let's not kid ourselves here. This team's got a lot of problems. This team's a disaster.
Yeah.
This team is an absolute, utter disaster right now. And it's tough to watch.
It is.
It's not a good product. So
is this what we signed up for, though, when we asked to go get these big bats? Is this the type of lineup as fans we wanted, right? We said it before. No. We're either going to bash or we're going to do nothing. And that's where we're at right now.
That's not the way to play baseball. It's not the way to build a baseball team.
I hear you, but I don't know what else you were thinking. We don't have a speed guy. We don't have a leadoff guy. We don't have a consistent 300 hitter besides Gene on the team. Maybe Bryce. But we are a home run or die team. That's how we're going to win or lose.
You're not going to, and you're going to lose. That's not.
I hear you, I guess. But again, that's what we signed up for.
They should have listened to me and us and a lot of people when we wanted Starling Marte.
Starling Marte. I agree with you. He was the number one free agent.
Starling Marte is such a superior baseball player to Kyle Schwarber. It's
yes.
Not even close. It's not even funny.
No, a batting average, he's just as good power-wise. He's 10 times better defensively, and he's a true leadoff guy if you need him to be.
And I love the Castellanos signing. He's going to have his stats. He's doing all right. He'll be at that 290.
25 and 90. Yeah, he'll be there.
He'll play like the back of his baseball card indicates.
Yep.
But Kyle Schwarber's my biggest beef right now. Because everyone told me what a genius signing this is, and this is the new age player. And maybe he is the new age player. Maybe this is just what baseball is, and I just got to deal with it. But if you're going to do that, you can't hit 185. And Bryce is hurt.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when our stars go down.
We crumble.
We fold like tents.
Yeah.
Bryce is it. He's the straw that stirs the drink here. But that's not an excuse when you got 4 or 5 guys making $20 a year on this team that you have to crumble because he's out for 5 days because he's getting plasma injections.
And it's funny because you heard, and I believe Kyle Schwarber was actually one that made the statement also that, yes, we lose Bryce, and yes, it's a key part, but we all got to pick up the slack. And here we are, putting him on the poll question today.
because he's not.
No,
He's
I
not
agree.
doing. He's not
Right.
doing it.
Right.
He's not doing anything. And look, this bullpen's a disaster. I've
Yeah.
never seen a franchise year after year, no matter who comes in for this bullpen,
sign guys and then just be
They-
horrible.
they crumble and they give up lead. It's been like 5 years of this.
And not
with this
only do they
bullpen.
crumble for us, but then they go on and they do good.
Yeah, like Hector
Dave Robertson, Naris, like they're all doing good this year.
Neris is an all-star caliber setup man.
Yeah.
Which
Dave
was
Robertson's a closer for the Cubs.
he was here.
Right.
Hector Neris. Robertson got hurt and whatever.
Oh, okay, but he's doing great now.
Well, yeah, he's a good pitcher and he's old, but like for you to just toss Hector Neris to the side and think that he's nothing
Right.
is a huge error in judgment.
Yeah, I mean he's got one of the best pitches in all of baseball when he's on.
He can't pitch the ninth.
That's
Okay,
right.
cool.
He can't handle the pressure of it.
There's
yeah.
9 other innings in the game that he can help and be productive at.
Yeah.
As the Houston Astros are figuring out.
Yep.
But like you let him go and you bring in Janoris Familia,
Ugh,
who's another disaster.
walking
was-
machine.
He's a disaster. Been a disaster. He's always been a disaster. So I don't know. You bring this guy in.
He's got good stuff, Rob. That's what they say. He's got good stuff.
Great. He can't throw strikes, and when he does, guy lives in the upper zone of the plate.
Yeah.
He lives there. So this team's got to look in the mirror. Try and avoid a sweep. You got 105 start. Who is it today? What's Gibby?
I
We
think
got Gibby.
Gibson's
Gibby
going,
hasn't
yeah.
pitched in a while, and like this starting rotation isn't an issue.
Or is it Ranger Suarez, maybe? I can't remember who's going to
Suarez pitched Friday,
Okay, all right.
so it's not him. But the starting pitching for this baseball team has been good,
It has.
not great. Gibson's been really good.
It's been good enough to be above 500.
Nola gets the short end of the
He's
stick
getting
with the
shafted
bullpen.
every
We should
game.
have 3 or 4 more
At
victories.
least 4 more wins, yeah.
We'll say 2, just because we know this bullpen is going to go out there and just
It's a shame.
stink out loud on some nights. It's been every night.
Yeah.
And like, God forbid, because like I thought this team turned a corner out west. Because I think Seattle, they're going to be in the mix.
Right. Yeah, we were just last week talking about it, how we're going to sweep the Dodgers out west and everything's going to be great.
3 of 4 in LA, and what was it, 2 of 3 in Seattle
Yeah.
on the road.
Yeah.
On the road, mind you. And we think now we're coming home, and this is a tough part of the schedule. I'll give
Right.
that, but that doesn't mean like you got to take advantage of these wins when they present themselves. So like, and then Bryce gets his injection, and then
Misses
everything
3 games and it just falls apart,
Yeah.
collapses.
So like, and like it's like the Sixers. Like the Sixers, Joel Embiid's hurt and they crumble.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. They need Joe in the lineup to, I guess, hold their hand and make sure everyone does what they're supposed to. And then I guess it's the same thing with the Phillies. If Bryce isn't in there, they're just going to crumble and not do anything.
It's funny how that works, though. I mean, baseball is so different that one guy should not make that big of a difference. I understand that he does make, your 2-hole and your 4-hole get better pitches because he's sitting there in the 3-hole. But besides that, man, he should not make that big of a difference to a lineup.
But he does.
I know. No other team has that, though. If every other team loses their star, it doesn't mean that they just get shut out 3 games in a row like we do.
It's brutal.
I think we went, 21 innings with only scoring 4 runs? Like, that's a joke.
It's not what we're
That's a
paying
joke.
for. That's not what we're paying for at all. And the Eagles look like they're going to have a pretty good football team this year.
Yeah, on
God
paper.
willing. So, like, you're in jeopardy if you don't start piling up some wins. Like, win series.
You have to.
Like, win series.
Yeah.
Like, you can drop a game here and there.
No, I don't
gotta
need to
win
see 10 in
series.
a row. I don't need to see 8 in a row. I just give me win 3 series in a row. That's all I want.
That's what the when we were good, the Utley and Howard, that regime.
Right.
Like, they would just you would look at a 2-month stretch and like, wow, you lost 1 series out of 2 in 2 months.
Yeah, and I said it before. If you win every series throughout the season, you're winning 110 games a year. That's a hell of a year.
That's a hell of a year. You're right. And that's unrealistic.
I
110,
get that.
110's a lot, but I get what you're saying.
But I'm just saying you don't have to go on 12-game winning streaks, 10-game winning streaks. That doesn't have to happen.
No, that's when they fooled us last year. Remember, they won
Right.
10 in a row and they
Yeah.
got themselves back in the mix, and then they were
And then they lost 8 in a row.
and they give it right back. We get some comments here. Eric Boston, why can't Segura lead off? His statistics in the leadoff spot are just not good.
He goes up there. He swings at every pitch. He doesn't take anything. He never walks.
He's a free swinger.
Yeah.
He's hitting the ball. He's blistering the ball.
Well, that's what he does.
He's a professional hitter.
Yes.
He really is.
He's a professional two-hole hitter because he knows how to take it the opposite way, too, when he gets the hole.
But, I mean, you're at the point now where you might have to try it.
I guess. I mean, only reason Reese is up there is because he takes pitches and walks. That's it. That's the only reason. He might lead our team in home runs at the end of the year and be our leadoff hitter. That's a joke.
Schwarber is a bum unless he's playing the Mets. That's Povia. Yeah, I've been underwhelmed by Kyle Schwarber. It's his stats are his stats, and his stats are stinky. His batting average is stinky. He's got pop.
His home runs are great, and his RBIs are what they are because a lot of them are solo shots because he was the leadoff guy.
Why? Because no one on this team gets on base.
Well, yeah.
That's the Bryce Harper syndrome. Do you know how many RBIs Bryce would have had last year if he didn't hit all solo home runs?
Right.
And he still won the MVP. But yeah, I've been underwhelmed greatly by Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were getting like a professional approach with him as well.
No, that's not him. I mean, I don't understand how everyone missed on him. Like he's a thumper. Just look at his body build. He's a thumper. Like he's a home runner, nothing guy.
Like he doesn't draw walks. Like I thought he was going to draw walks. He's not on base enough. Like
he hits home runs or he hits nothing. I mean, it's that simple. And I think that's what we paid for. I don't know why we all thought he was a leadoff guy. I've been saying this at the beginning of the year. Rhys Hoskins is the only guy on this lineup that has the potential of being a leadoff guy.
Eric Boston, checking us out on Facebook. He's disappointed with the Phillies. He tries to watch all the games, but it's brutal.
You just can't.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Eagles are going to be good. And there's going to be a lot of buzz come August.
Well, and that's the worst part is I love going to baseball. As you know, you're a baseball guy. I'm a baseball guy. And going to the stadium is the best part. But when they're bad and then all you listen to is the EAGLES Eagles chant all game long, that's just,
That's a total violation.
It's so sad.
That's the biggest violation, my biggest beef that I have with
when
the
they're
Philadelphia.
bad, that's what you get, though.
No, you go to the baseball game. You shouldn't do an Eagles chant like a schmo.
I hear you.
If you're at the Sixers game, you don't do Eagles chants.
I hear you, but that's what we get. That's what we get in Philadelphia. When our teams are good, you don't hear that. When we're good and the games are meaningful, that goes out the door. But when we're bad, that's all you hear.
Bryce Blackwell's in the house. Our man Bryce, he's disappointed and disgusted as well.
Yeah.
They're just shaky. He just shakes his head every night he watches, he says.
Yeah, it's always something. And the worst part is coaching, too. I'm getting tired of Joe Girardi. Tired of his pitching rotation or whatever he has going into that bullpen. And again,
Brad Ryer.
Horrible.
Brad Ryer, he's a Yankee guy.
Right.
And he put up with Girardi for years.
Oh, my gosh.
And, on the surface, when you're an outsider looking in at Joe Girardi, it's like, oh, wow, like the Yankees are in the ALCS again, and everyone says he's a bad manager.
Well, it's also different because they had real talent, right? Chapman's your 9 guy. You know Chad Green right now is your 8 guy. Like, you know what I mean? They have a set, you got this in, you got this in, you got this in. Right now, Joe Girardi is just literally just picking straws who's going to go in and pitch those innings. We don't have a set rotation.
Well, and Sir Anthony's giving you nothing.
No, you knew that was going to be a little struggle. He was going to be the question mark if he could give you. He's 2 arm surgeries, hasn't pitched in 3 years.
But his stuff's electric. Stuff's electric. He throws really hard. He's got great movement. Yeah, he's got great stuff. How many times do we hear? How many times do we hear that about these guys that we rely on?
Last night, 2 pass balls and just
they all stink. They're all on their knees every night, just blowing games after blowing games. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's probably about as animated as I can get. Because I do. I try not to get worked up over these teams because, they all stink. The Sixers stink.
Yeah.
The Flyers stink. The Phillies are just stink out loud bad right now. And I'm sick and tired. But, it's not worth me, blowing a gasket over it.
Right, right.
The only team that can hurt my feelings in this city is the Eagles.
And they might.
They always do.
Might.
Only one team. They didn't hurt my feelings last year.
No, they did better than anyone thought last year.
But, I'm just supposed to I don't know.
Yeah, we just didn't take it. I mean,
I'm just miffed.
You're at the point now, being a Philadelphia fan, that this is what we expect. It's what you expect. I don't know if we have a curse on us now or whatever it is, but
the Sixers have the curse of Sam Hinkie and the curse of the process, because that guy was a stone loser and he managed a professional real life franchise like he was simulating season after season on Xbox.
Yeah, and I know we'll probably touch on it a little bit, but
joke.
How does Joel Embiid not make any defensive team? That guy's never going to win any hardware in the NBA because of the process.
It's not.
He'll never win anything.
It's not a center's league. It's not. You have.
I get that. I hear you.
It's just not a center's league.
I hear you, but I'm just saying, how can he not? A center did win a defensive, player team.
That's
award.
The only thing.
Why didn't he? Why? How does he not get it? Second team? He doesn't make second team? Come on.
All those awards are nonsense, though. I don't care about these awards.
I
don't have any respect for Hall of Fames awards. It's all political and it's all
it has
nonsense.
Been. You're right. Yeah, it wasn't back in the day. They meant something. They were important. It was a way that you could look at the history of the sport. Nowadays, you're right. It got too political.
And then this guy thinks one way about a topic, so we're not going to vote for him because we don't agree with him. And
right.
This guy, but yeah, Joel Embiid is going to have an uphill battle to win any type of hardware because
he'll never win any.
It's not just it's just not a center's league.
Not a center's league, but you have to agree the NBA and the voters and whoever is a part of this look at him and despise the way that he got there. Through the process.
But that's not his
fault. And now are penalizing him for it.
But that's not his fault.
I hear you. I get it. I said the same thing about Noel. It's not his fault why the Phillies are losing, but it's just it stems from the stink of what had happened around you and him being the part of it.
Scam Hinkie.
Right.
That's what it was. It was a scam.
Yeah.
They scammed us and give the fans of Philadelphia credit. Because they bought into it, hook, line, and sinker, myself included.
Oh, 100%.
For a little bit of it, but then you pick a center every year, and then you don't get Tatum, and
you missed on them. You missed on a lot.
Ben was a disaster.
Yeah.
That didn't end well. So the Sixers are definitely cursed. It's the curse of Sam Hinkie, and it will reign supreme around this organization.
I'm just trying to figure out how it is with the Phillies. We've been a franchise for over 100 years. How have we not had more than two?
We got two banners, bro.
How's that possible?
Once every 50 years, we get it done.
I get it if we're a Minnesota or a Pittsburgh or Kansas City, a small market team. We're a pretty big market team.
Yeah, it's the fifth biggest market in all of sports.
How do we not have more? It literally, it's comical. It really is.
All that Don 19. Yo, Don, we're gonna be at the game. That's our Detroit. Week 1, Ramp Booth. We're going back on the road. We're going to Detroit for Week 1, Eagles season opener. I hope Don 19 shows up.
Yeah, we'll be staying at Windsor, Ontario, Canada, at the Caesars Hotel and Casino.
Little international flavor.
Yes.
For the Ramp Booth. So, yeah, Don, we're coming out. What's that, 15 minutes away from the stadium, the casino?
20, yeah, something like that. Yep.
Close.
Yes,
we're
very close.
We're in the neighborhood. So I hope Don shows up. And that's going to be a fun game, I think.
That's going to be a lot better game than people think. On the road, opening day.
Detroit's
going to be a decent team.
You look at Detroit. I think Detroit's better than the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not finishing last.
Right.
At least in my opinion. And you saw incremental improvement week to week
They had growth, yep.
in Detroit.
They
There.
had a great offseason, great draft.
I can't stand their coach because he cries after losses in front of everyone, and you know how I feel about that.
Players love him. Players love playing for him.
Okay. I mean, you got Hawkinson, terrific draft.
Yeah.
We were out in Vegas. You grab Hutchinson.
Right.
And then you make a big trade with your division rival, the Minnesota Vikings, and you get Jamison Williams. So you got Hawkinson, you got Jamison Williams. They signed DJ Chark.
DJ Chark, yeah. If he stays
in the
healthy, he's a
offseason.
top wide receiver if he stays healthy.
Penei Sewell, he was their draft pick a few years ago.
You got your left tackle for 10 years, yeah.
And, you got some things happening in Detroit. It's going to be a fun game. I'm not going to say it's a must-win game.
No. I think it is if you want to be a contender, you got to win this game. But right now, realistically, I don't think we are.
Detroit. So. We went to Detroit last year, and we thumped them good.
Right.
44-6. So, they're going to remember that.
Little revenge.
They're going to remember that. And it's the first game, so they're going to be jacked up.
Right, and that's what scares me the most. It's the home opener. You always have a little bit more. You know it's going to be a sellout. I don't know what they regularly do up in Detroit, but you know it's going to be packed. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a game.
John Malmos, the Philadelphia Phillies start building from within. I'm done. Sixers won't win. The Sixers won't sniff a championship.
Yeah. I tend
to
agree with you.
But we were talking about how it's not a center's league and you don't build around center. Look at the 4 teams left.
Right.
The Mavs, they're guard heavy with Luka being the king guard.
Yeah.
Steph.
Everyone's
Warriors.
Going small.
You got him and Clay, and Draymond is he's not the straw there. He's a great glue guy, but he's your big.
Right.
And you have Jordan Poole, who's a stud. You
Wiggins.
have Wiggins, perimeter guy. That's where they messed up. When Golden State was reportedly interested in Ben Simmons at the draft, you should have just...
Please. Why did we not get Kuminga and Wiseman? That's it. That's what apparently that's what they were offering. Wiseman, no.
He's hurt still?
I don't know if he's hurt or if they just don't want to put him in the mix right now. I don't know what the deal is. I know he played down in the G League or D League, whatever it is. I think he played some rehab starts down there, but
I thought he was about as can't miss coming out of Memphis as you could get.
7-footer that shoots,
7 foot, can do everything.
Yeah.
So and then you got the Eastern teams like Robert Williams is the center for Boston.
That's small. He's 6'8". He's not a big guy.
You're built around Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, all guards that can defend the perimeter. By the way,
right.
And who else? And you got Miami with Jimmy. They have Bam Bam, who's good.
Lowry when healthy. But again, he's a small center. What's he, 6'8" too? They don't have anyone.
He's bigger than that.
I don't think
he's
is,
really good. He's really, really,
oh, he's
really
good. He's really good, but he's not a big center.
But if he has a bad game for the Heat, they can still win because they have Hero and Duncan Robinson and Jimmy Butler and
Kyle Lowry,
Oladipo, Kyle Lowry. It's a guard league. It's a perimeter-based league.
Right.
Look when Dallas took off. Dallas traded their big guy Porzingis.
Dinwiddie.
They got Spencer Dinwiddie, and now they're in the Western Conference Finals. They'll be at it today. They need a win at home.
They have to win. Yeah.
Yeah. This is all hands on deck game for the Mavericks. Or else do down 3-0 to the Warriors. That's probably too big a hill to climb. But that's my beef with the Sixers. They build around all these centers. Only one worked out. And the one that they have is always hurt when you need him the most.
Right.
That's what big guys do. They get hurt. Look at Wiseman.
Yeah.
We just talked about how good he is. He's hurt. Not playing. You don't build around centers. And the Phillies, they haven't developed anyone since Utley.
Well, let me ask you a question. For the Phillies, trade deadline, can we realistically even be sellers? Do we have any pieces to sell? No, we don't, right? Are you moving
stuck.
Nola? Are you DD's not going to fetch you anything. You're not Gene's contract. I don't think you're going to fetch much with him. Reese, you're not getting much. I just don't. I don't see how you even rebuild.
If you want to, you pair Reese and Stott.
So you're moving young pieces to try to hit on younger pieces. It's just not a good way to rebuild.
No. Now
Right.
you trade Reese and Stott in a package
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
for now,
Right.
not prospects. Because
Well,
even if they get the
Stott
best,
is still a prospect.
but like, how good is he?
I don't know yet. I mean, it looks like he has a good bat. It looks like he's pretty good defensively.
The Red Sox aren't doing well. They're doing better because Trevor Story is Babe Ruth all of a sudden.
Yeah,
he's starting to get healthy. He's on a tear, but they don't seem to be interested in paying Xander Bogaerts.
No.
So like Reese and Stott and whatever else it takes to get Bogaerts and then
Has
pay
to be a
him.
signing deal, yeah. I mean,
you got like 70 coming off. I think I read 70 million
right
in the offseason.
Yeah, you're going to be able to sign 2 guys hopefully next year.
So I mean, Xander Bogaerts is terrific.
But it has to be bullpen guys again though, and that's what sucks. Is you just can't figure that spot out.
But the problem with adding bullpen is everybody wants to add bullpen at the trade deadline.
Yes, it's the number one thing. That's starting.
And, you really only have Stott in your farm system.
That's it. Mickey Moniak ain't going to get you anything. You got no one else.
Forgot about Mickey Moniak. Where's he?
He's just coming off of injury. I think he's doing a couple rehab.
He's still
starts.
out. He's still out with that hand.
Yeah, I think he's just starting to do some rehab.
That was what, opening day? So what's it been like a month,
a
month and a half? Okay, maybe he can give you something in center field.
Dubal sure as heck isn't.
Ed Taylor, Phillies. Phillies need. Flash it up here. Phillies. Wish I could see. Phillies need reset, more pitching, 5th time in trade, and then no more center field experiments. The team is predictable.
It's easy to say, guys, and this is what I hate in sports, right? We all see it. We all know it. The question is, how do you fix it? Right? We know center field's an issue. We knew it was an issue in the beginning of the year. We never addressed it. We were hoping Mickey Moniak would be it. He hasn't been. So how do you address it? And that's what we're talking about now. We don't have the pieces to go out and trade. We don't have anyone that's going to fetch a top prospect back.
And then Bryce Blackwell says we need to do better with the international signing pool.
That's what it is, right? And I don't know if that's a money issue. Do we never have enough international cash? I know there's rule. Well, I know there's rules to that, right? That you're allowed to trade cash or whatever.
Everyone has a set amount,
right?
And it's the same for everyone. And teams trade it,
right?
But I mean, when's the last time the Phillies made a splash, an international splash?
They haven't
ever.
Yeah, and I think that's the number one way that we could get better faster. Like that's it, because we don't have a farm system. We don't have any players that are going to fetch us a top farm system prospect. We have to go overseas and try to hit a home run on somebody.
Like the Japanese guys that come in, and I mean, we saw the one.
Right.
What's his name? Suzuki.
Out in Chicago.
Siya Suzuki, I think you say.
They love him out there.
He started hot. He's still good, but like a guy like that, like it's because it freshens things up,
Yeah, you got to start somewhere out, and I don't care if it's Venezuela or Cuba or wherever you got to go. We need somebody.
And I know these guys, they want to go to the Yankees and the Chicago team, like the big markets.
The big markets, yeah.
And teams with, reputations.
Right.
And the Phillies don't have that. Like you said, we've been a franchise for 110 years and we have 2 banners.
Right. We're known for losers.
Win only professional sports franchise with
10,000
losses. Don 19, I got to get my A2D gear down here. Yeah.
We'll be bringing some with us,
Philly
too.
drinkers.
We'll be bringing some with
Don,
us.
he gets a shirt.
We got you.
He might even get a hat, too. I love Don. I love Detroit. Have you ever been to the Tiger Stadium?
I've seen it. I've never been in it.
That might be something. We continue our world tour here on the Ramp Booth.
Yeah.
We've been to Busch Stadium and Wrigley Field. Maybe we can add the Detroit Tiger Stadium.
I would love that.
I guess it's called Tiger Stadium, I assume.
I have no idea.
The old one was called. They've been disappointing, too, Detroit.
Yeah, I mean they're a small market team again.
except when they had Dombrowski,
Yeah, yeah.
who won them a World Series. You remember they had Maglio Ordonez, they had Miggy,
They
Verlander.
had a lineup.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were terrific. And, now you're getting to the point with the Phillies where, you're buried.
You're buried in contracts, not good
I'm
talent in
talking
the
about
MLB
I'm
league.
talking about the standings.
Oh, standings. Listen, it's still early in the year. I'm not writing them off. I still think we can make a push. There's that extra spot that's opening up this year in the playoffs. I'm not going to bury them. I'm still holding out hope that
We
we can
don't
make a
have we
run.
don't have to bury them. They're burying themselves
Yeah.
just fine. Let me look at these standings because the Mets, they don't
The
lose.
Mets are coming. Well, they're starting to come down to reality a little bit. They're not as hot as they were.
Yeah, but they're still a far superior team to the Phillies.
Well, Max went down. Mad Max is down now. He's out for maybe 2 months with an oblique.
Yeah, he's got those obliques.
Yeah.
But you're 8 back of the Mets. I understand it's early, but how long am I supposed to just? Oh, it's early. They'll get it together. It's early. They'll get it together.
I don't
Then
know.
it's going to be end of June. We're going to be 10 back, and it's going to be insurmountable.
That's going to be tough.
And I know teams do this, like the Braves and the Nationals when they won.
Right.
They weren't good at this point in the year.
Yeah, I hear you.
But how come those teams can turn it around, and the Phillies are just going to be? Because I already know how this book ends. I've been reading this book for 32 years with the Phillies.
Again, I'm just holding out hope. What's the wild card? I mean, because there is that extra spot open. I still think we get into the playoffs when it's all said and done.
I don't know.
This team's too talented to miss the playoffs.
Are they though?
Yes.
Where is it?
You're just too talented to miss it. I mean, you got the MVP. Gene Segura's a 300 hitter.
I already know how that book's going to end too. Bryce is going to further injure his arm. He's going to need surgery, and he's going to be done.
That could be true, but
I've read it. I've read the book
happen.
before. I've seen this movie
Seems
before.
like he's toughing it out and making it happen.
And good for him. Good for him. But if he tears that further, it's Tommy John.
Right. It's definitely.
And I don't
surgery.
know. I'm not a doctor, but he might need Tommy John now.
He probably does, and he's jeopardizing next year to try to hold out this year.
I mean, so I already know that. And then we won't see Bryce until June next year. I already know how this ends.
Well,
with Bryce,
here's a good question. At what point does Dombrowski say, "Hey, we don't have a shot. Let's shut you down now. Let's get the surgery." Like where that's got to be before the trade deadline, right?
John Middleton will never allow that to happen.
What? At some point,
shutdown of Bryce Harper.
That has to happen if he really does have to get Tommy John.
Middleton needs his money.
That doesn't matter. You can't.
It does
you can't
to him.
do that next year. You can't lose this year and then write off next year. You know you're nothing without Bryce, so you can't write off next year. You gotta get if it's really Tommy John and it's an 8-month recovery, 9-month recovery. You gotta get that done sooner than later.
Don 19. Where the hell did the Angels get Shohei Ohtani? He came from Japan.
Yeah,
he's a stud.
Yep.
He might be the best pitcher and the best hitter in all of baseball.
I might be crazy, but I think they paid over $100 million just to negotiate with him. If I'm not mistaken.
$100 million well spent.
Yes, it was.
Guy's stud.
Yes, it was.
The Angels are good.
Yeah, they are. For the first time in a long time.
You have Trout, Rendon, and Ohtani. And then you
have
a
hell of a 3-4-5 hitters or 2-3-4, whatever.
Yeah, but then they get guys like Tyler Ward and Brandon Marsh and Jared Walsh, and you got
Jared Walsh is having a great year.
Iglesias is at the back end,
right?
Like Noah Syndergaard, you bring in, take a risk with him. He's been pretty good
when healthy. He's been good.
And you get that. They spend money. They don't really develop people, and they're World Series contenders.
Yeah. And I'm happy. I mean, they're a team that should be the best player in all of baseball now for 5 years. They need to get his face out there more in the playoffs.
Who on the Phillies is responsible for scouting international talent?
No clue. Whoever it is, they're not doing a good job.
Yeah, it should be. Whoever it is, it should be somebody else.
I know in the beginning of this year, Dombrowski completely cleaned house and brought in his guys.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of analytics nerds from the Rays and a couple of them were from the Rays, I know. And
So hopefully this offseason we start seeing that panning out and
that's
producing.
good. That's good that they're turning the page because this farm system, they haven't scouted talent. So like you got to give them a couple years to get like the new crew to have their fingerprints
right
on the offense. But like Bryce is about to turn 30.
Yeah, he's going to be. I mean, you're taking him, and he's pretty much going to be your forever DH soon.
You know,
it's getting close to that.
He can't play the field.
Right now, he can't. Right now, he can't. I'm talking about when he's 33, 34. Like that position's going to be locked up for him. So you got to figure out the rest of it. Like you can't keep throwing Bohm and Reese and Schwarber and Castellanos out in the field where they make 12 errors. I mean, Castellanos dropped an easy pop-up yesterday that cost us in the 8th inning, I believe.
It's lack of fundamental. So, like, when does Joe Girardi become on the hot seat?
I think he is. To me, he is.
What's his name? Dustin Long? The
Kevin Long?
Kevin Long?
Yeah.
I guess he steps in.
I would assume he would be. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a permanent replacement. I guess he would be the interim. But I don't think he's a true head coach guy. He's a real hitting coach, I believe. Well.
Yeah.
The launch angle. That's what he's working on.
Oh, great. Launch angle. Great. But, yeah, the Phillies are a disaster. Comerica Park is the Tiger Stadium. Yep. Maybe we'll get out there. We'll go to a game with Don Don.
Love to do that.
The Tigres. But saw some football.
Yeah.
Kind of like overview. The Eagles have the Eagles had the best offseason in the whole NFL?
It's hard to argue they haven't.
I'm just trying to run through it in my head. Buffalo made some power moves.
Both New York teams, I think, had a good offseason. But yeah, the most hype, I think, definitely has to go to the Eagles.
But they had good drafts. New York had a good draft.
Correct.
The Jets and the Giants, they had good drafts. The Eagles had a good draft.
And have signed pieces. Yeah.
And have signed proven guys.
Right.
James Bradberry really brings the secondary together.
Yeah, but he's on the decline also. Hopefully you could steal. It's only a 1-year deal.
Well, he was great.
You steal a year out of him. He's not a long-term fix.
Why?
How old is he? 30-something? He's 30-something.
He's like 29.
Isn't he? He's
younger than Slay.
He had a down year last year.
Yeah, Brad Ryer told me it was horrendous last year.
Yeah, he had a down year last year. It looks like he's on the decline, but maybe being paired with Slay gives him a little bit because we can funnel a little bit more help towards him.
Well, who's better, Bradberry or Steven Nelson?
I mean, that's not a question. That's Bradberry. So, I mean, It's an upgrade, 100%.
And now you got guys like Bradberry and Slay, they have clout around the league. They're respected by their peers. People want to come and play with them.
Yep.
So you got that working. Trey Boston.
Yeah, it just came out on Twitter and said that he wants to play with us.
Like, come on. Yeah, let's go get him.
You got that kid from Cincinnati who's kind of out there. I forget his name now.
Oh, Jesse Bates. Yeah, that was I wanted – he's a good player.
He's a great player.
He's on the franchise. Too, he's on the franchise tag.
Yeah, I would love to,
I don't know if he signed it yet or you can work out a trade for him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If they would give him up for, 3rd or 4th or whatever, I'd be all in for that.
But, like, you have extra picks.
Yes.
So, like, that would be a great – if the Eagles get Jesse Bates from Cincinnati, look out.
That defense is real special now. You're right.
Look out.
I don't know financially how that works out. We would have to see financially.
We got Howie. He'll just wave his magic wand and we'll have money.
Push some money back. Yeah.
He always does this.
Yep.
I don't know how I was going to do it this year. We got this guy's making this. Like, don't worry about it. We're good.
Yeah, he'll get.
Now we have
pocket protector out there, and he'll make it work.
And this offensive line is really good. It's all going to be about the quarterback.
That's it. It's one guy.
All going to be at the. Do you want to contend? Do you want to make an NFC title game?
And what's great about this is, to me, it's not just 1 year, right? This is sustainable. I think Howie's put this roster together where this could be sustainable for 5 years. This could be a nice 5-year run.
You have everything but a quarterback.
Right. And we have the draft capital to go get a quarterback if that's what it's called for next
Just
year.
load up the bus. Send the scouting team to the southeastern part of the United States and just pluck them.
Yep, just get one.
Pluck them out.
So I
It's easy.
do think Howie has done everything he can to put a winning product on the field.
A.J. Brown's 25.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith's, 23?
If that, yeah.
Our left tackle, Jordan Mailata, he's young. He's just entering his prime. Dickerson is a young player. Who else? Goddard's
you
in
just
his prime.
drafted that other center, right? That other kid.
The Nebraska
in the
kid,
second round, yeah.
who Jason Kelsey said he's a stud.
He loves them, right?
Cool, good enough for me. And you look at the defense. Defense is aging a little bit. We got two good linebackers, and hopefully Davion Taylor and Nakobe Dean
comes back, right? Well, Taylor was hurt, and he was looking promising before the injury. So if he comes back, there's your linebacker crew right there. You're set up there.
You have Edwards, who I've always liked Edwards. He plays downhill. He's physical. He can't cover anyone.
I think he's nice in the goal line sets, yeah.
But you can do stuff with him. Edwards. Singleton's gone. Thank God. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing a linebacker.
Not sure.
This is going to be I think the Eagles are the most talented football team in the NFC East.
It depends. To me, it depends because the quarterback weighs so heavy on the scale.
Dallas has the best quarterback.
Correct. And they do have some decent talent around him too. So does him being so much better, does that weigh more?
They lost a lot of guys though, and they didn't win a playoff game last year.
Okay. I mean, I hear you. They still got a lot of
talent
Dallas
around. Win the NFC East because they have Dak Prescott and the best quarterback? Maybe.
Correct.
Maybe.
Correct.
But I'm looking at this roster, and
I think Vegas still has them as the favorites to win the East, if I'm not mistaken.
That's fine. I get a better price on the Eagles.
Better payday.
And then the Commander, I think the Eagles are better than the Commanders, too.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas might finish third.
Giants are a good team. Giant. If Danny Dimes, they're in the same boat as the Eagles, right? They're a quarterback problem. If Danny Dimes does good, Danny Jones has a good year, that could be a good team, man. That could be a good team with Saquon coming back off of injury, the weapons they have around him. That could be promising.
They're fourth, though.
I'm not putting them fourth. There's no way I'm putting them fourth.
Who are you putting for? What's your power ranking?
Washington. I got Dallas, Philly, Giants, Washington.
So you're not buying into the Carson Wentz edition?
No.
Another loser.
I am not.
Another loser. Unbelievable. Yeah. Watch, he'll put it together now when he plays us twice a year.
He'll kill us.
Yeah, he'll put it. But, the mistake is looming with Carson. The clunker is always looming. And
he's good. The big moments, he's good for an interception.
And then it's always when you need him to step up and be good.
He does for 3 quarters.
You get the Jags game.
Yeah.
Or you get that Titans game last year.
Right, where you need to win, yeah.
Threw a left-handed interception in the end zone.
When they were leading, too, yeah.
Then he throws a pick in overtime, and he's a disaster. I don't think they're fourth, though. They have too good of a roster, too good of a coach to
that's what I say about the Giants.
Yeah, but Dabble, he's unproven.
He's been good everywhere he went. Look what he did in Buffalo.
He's going to have his work cut out with Danny Dimes. So I don't think Danny Dimes is – I don't think he's that good.
You trade him for Jalen Hurts? I would. I would take Daniel Jones over Hurts.
No.
No?
I'll stick with Jalen.
All right.
I'll stick with Jalen. Well, if Jalen comes out and this is it for Jalen.
Oh, 100%. I don't even think this is it. I literally think this is 8 games. He's got 8 games.
If you come out and this team is you got receivers, you got a tight end, you got a good offensive line, the defense is coming together. They're piecing it together. Howie's piecing it together with the rest of this offseason. Maybe Howie's got something else up his sleeve.
Well, this is how I don't
even know. I don't even know who the safeties are on this football team right now.
No, neither do I, actually.
Is Anthony Harris back?
Epps, right? Marcus Epps.
Epps. Wallace is still
Harris
here.
Is gone, right?
Is he gone? I thought they brought him back. But,
no matter what, it's bad.
that's like the weak point of the football team.
Correct.
Safety and quarterback.
Yeah. And
Jalen Hurts is free to prove me wrong. I love getting proved wrong.
please
Yeah.
go out and throw for 3,500 yards.
So how big of a leash does he get?
That's what I was just about to get into. I think it's 8 games, right? If you're below 500, 8 games into the season, people forget we also have a starting quarterback as our backup too. That has been
We got Gardner Minshew.
kind of proven, right? So I think he has 8 games. If we're below 500, you hand the reins over to Gardner. If he does good, maybe you go into next year with him. If not, then you use the draft capital to get a quarterback. But we got 2 guys that we really got to test and see if they can be it. So Jalen Hurts is definitely the guy who gets the nod first. If he doesn't produce, you have to go and see what you got in Gardner Minshew.
If you're losing football games and it's clearly on Jalen Hurts, you got to move.
I agree.
You got to move. You got to let
agree.
Gardner play because,
and I don't think that's the answer. I'm not saying that's the answer. Don't sit here and say I'm a Gardner Minshew fan. I'm not.
I love Gardner.
I don't think that's the answer.
I love Gardner. He is what he is.
But I do think that's the process that the Howie and the Eagles coaching staff have to go through if they're eyeing next year. Yeah, you have to go Hurts, Minshew, and then figure out next year.
His MVP odds are out of control. He's like 18-1
Who's?
to win MVP. Jalen Hurts. It's crazy.
Is that why is that? Does that seem high?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that seems high.
Yeah. There's no money to be made. I mean, there is an 18-1 bet.
Right.
I think it was 18-1.
I don't see him ever being that kind of player, though. I mean, if he throws for 4,000 yards, I'll be shocked.
Is he capable of that?
With this lineup, with these guys that he has, yes. Yeah, I think he is. Again, I think probably 1,500 of it are going to be just off of bubble screens. Right? Any one of these guys that you throw a bubble screen, that's a home run waiting to happen.
So, do you think A.J. Brown gets 1,000 yards?
No, I don't think we're going to have a 1,000-yard receiver, but I do think we'll have 2 800-yard receivers, and then you'll have a tight end who'll be around 750. But I don't think we have a 1,000-yard guy.
But
just because you're not going to have the 50-yard bombs, right? The only home runs they're going to get, like I said, are going to be on slants.
You got to get him
bubble screens.
Yeah, you got to get Devontae and AJ the ball,
right?
And then they got to make something.
They got to do it. Yeah.
Does Miles Sanders have a good year? Contract year?
No. He can't. They just don't. They're not going to trust him enough to give him enough carries.
Yeah, because he always fumbles and he's always hurt.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring this up here. His MVP odds. Make sure I'm not crazy.
Yeah, because that seems a little high on him. I would put him more in the 30 or 40 to 1 range.
Or 1,000 to 1, he should be, because he stinks.
You can never put a quarterback that low, I think. But
wish I could find it.
But yeah, the Eagles going into the season on paper have a very solid roster. You just have the biggest and most important position is your question mark.
Which I think, and we've talked about this before, I think that's how you build a team.
You're 100% correct. Yeah. I said that last year when everyone wanted to go out and go get a quarterback and trade for Russ and give up all your draft capital and go get a quarterback.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do that.
100% they did it right.
I don't know. I'm not good. Everyone's on the Broncos. I'm not sure.
That's a tough division.
I'm not sure. I think
you're telling me they're better than the Chiefs and the Chargers?
I love Vegas.
And Vegas, right.
Look, you look at Vegas, and Vegas made the playoffs last year. They have a franchise quarterback.
And they got a real number 1 receiver this year.
Go out. They gave Cincinnati all they could handle on the road wild card weekend. I think McDaniels is going to be a huge success in his second stint as a head coach.
So
I think he was too young, too immature. His first stint with the Broncos. I think he went back into that New England oven, cooked a little longer with Belichick, and now he's going to be really good.
Right.
And then you made the playoffs, and you add maybe the best pass rusher in Chandler Jones, and maybe the best receiver, I think, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And you already have Waller and Hunter Renfrow. And by the way, how much turmoil was around that team last year?
Oh my gosh, with the coaching problems
they
and the team problems with
racists,
Ruggs
and
the Ruggs issue,
Henry Ruggs issue. It would have been very easy for that football team to just fold up.
Pack it in. Yeah.
Pack it in, fold up, live to fight another day. But they didn't. They made the playoffs.
Right. And you know who I hang a lot of hat on, who took a lot of criticism? Carr.
I
mean,
hated Derek Carr for
that
years.
shows leadership. That's true leadership, that he could rally the team with all the outside distractions.
I would have no problem giving him $100 million contract.
Yeah, no.
None.
He's worth it.
Zero.
Yep.
And, like, Jacobs is good. Like, a lot of good football players in Vegas.
Yeah.
A lot of good football players. And then the Chiefs, out of respect for the Chiefs, I'll put them second.
The Chiefs are going to be great if they have Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
That's basically what it is. I can't believe they traded Tyreek Hill. Can't believe
they
traded Tyreek Hill.
I understand. I think Tyreek Hill's a special player, but I don't think he's that big a game changer like you have him.
Do you not watch? What are you talking about?
I just think that they have other guys that can fill that role.
There's no one in the league like Tyreek Hill. No one.
All right.
No one. And they had a good draft. So, like, Sky Moore is going to come in and be good because Andy is an offensive genius and Patrick Mahomes is a legend.
Yeah.
Who else did they pick? They picked that corner that I didn't want the Eagles to take, too. We'll see how that works out. But, Patrick Mahomes, they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're going to make the playoffs.
They're way too talented.
Denver and Los Angeles, I don't have them as playoff teams right now.
Los Angeles is a heck of a team, and man,
I don't like their coach, and I think that
okay.
Well, like, it's all the teams are so good, right? So, like, bad coaching mistakes in division games, like you got last year. Remember that Thursday night game he blew?
Right.
Against the Chiefs.
Yep.
Where, like, they just were going for it on, like, every fourth down recklessly and giving Patrick Mahomes short field after short field, and you get buried. Like, bad decisions like that are going to be the difference when you're playing, what is it, 6 games? 6 of your 18 games?
Tough
against
games.
Premium opponents. And Denver, I don't know. I don't get good vibes from Denver.
Well,
I just don't.
They're better than what they were last year. You have to agree to that. But, didn't they just lose a wide receiver?
Well, Jerry Jeudy got arrested.
That's right. Which looks like he's going to be a 1-year suspension, sounds like. If
really?
Not long. Yeah. I think so.
Well, I don't understand. Trevor Bauer gets 2 years. Calvin Ridley gets 1 year.
Right.
Matt Harvey, who's
I can't even speak on
just
that.
a crumb.
That's a crumb, yes. I wonder if it has anything to do because he was in the minors and he wasn't in professional, like the big leagues. Does that have any way on it?
I mean, the guy died.
Yeah.
Skaggs, he died. And he's like at the.
I hear you.
Like, open cocaine user leads to the downfall of a young pitcher.
Teammate. Yeah.
And, like, he gets 60 games.
I don't know.
And you're telling me Judy's going to get a year?
I think so.
Watson, nothing came down with Watson yet.
Well, nothing's been proven. He hasn't been proven guilty.
That doesn't matter in today's with these policies. Trevor Bauer was
in those cases.
Everything was dropped with Trevor Bauer. He got 2 years.
I think that's a joke. I don't think that should have happened.
And you look at the AFC, just getting back on the football. Like, the AFC is loaded. There's going to be really good football teams that don't make the playoffs in the AFC.
There's going to be a lot of good games in the AFC, yes.
And the margins are just razor thin. Like, I think the Colts are really good.
Yeah.
Like,
if Matt Ryan plays anything decent, that should be a good team.
And then the Jaguars, they're kind of my sleeper team. I don't know if I'm going to have the guts to pick them in the playoffs, sneak in there as a 7 seed. But that team's coming.
Maybe not this year. Maybe next year they might be on the rise, but maybe not this year.
They have the perfect head coach for what they need to do in Doug Peterson. Because this franchise has lost after Urban Meyer.
And they have a franchise quarterback in Trevor Lawrence.
And Trevor,
that kid's
Sunshine.
Stud.
And you saw it a little bit last year.
He's special.
And you have the Titans in that division that I don't think they're going back to the playoffs. They lost.
Yeah, I think they're on the decline.
A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are not there, both of his weapons. And,
right.
How long
they lost Davis the year before that.
And, like, how many times can you give Derrick Henry the ball?
Right. Before he breaks. And you already saw it last year.
And then Houston, they're not a factor.
No.
And then the North, I think Baltimore.
Good team.
Is going to bounce back. I got that. I don't know. This Super Bowl hangover for Cincinnati,
Could be real.
I think it might be real.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it might be real.
I think that they listen, and everyone agrees that that was a miracle team, a miracle run.
Yeah,
It's not like they were supposed to be there.
they got hot, and Burrow was awesome, and they found themselves in the Super Bowl, and they came up a little bit short.
Right.
But, I mean, you're playing – it's the same thing because the Browns, they're not tragic.
Browns are going to be a good team this year.
We're still waiting for Deshaun Watson to be suspended or not suspended or fined or whatever's going on with him.
And if Kenny Pickett turns into anything, Pittsburgh's going. They got a good roster.
The Steelers are loaded,
Yeah.
man. You cover up quarterback, that might be the best roster in the league.
Could be. Yeah.
Minka Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt, Deontay Johnson,
Yeah.
Najee Harris. Like, just
Studs.
awesome football team all over the place. But, yeah, I do like the Ravens in that division. I think Lamar bounces back.
I think he has a bounce back.
And, like,
year.
when are the Ravens ever bad 2 years in a row?
Yeah.
Talk about everything going wrong last year for a football team.
That's a football team where they never do bad because they have good front office and they have good head coaching.
Of all of our teams here in Philadelphia, the Eagles are by far the best run.
Best run, yes. Yes.
I mean, they fall short sometimes.
I was about to say most disappointing could be them too.
No, I mean, I don't understand how they can be the most disappointing. They're in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, but you never get over that hump.
Well, they're not good
You never
enough.
get over the hump.
Look, there's 50% turnover every season in the NFL.
Yes.
And the Eagles are there every year.
And we do avoid that. You're right.
And we're not. And when we're not there, Jeffrey Lurie, somebody's getting fired.
Right.
Jeffrey Lurie doesn't put up with it.
That's true.
So you can say what you want about Jeffrey Lurie. He doesn't put up with losing. He doesn't.
No, and we're
Howie,
a winning franchise.
And Howie, say what you want about him. The team has had zero stability at the quarterback position, the most important position in all sports, and they're in the playoffs every year. They're by far the most successful and most well-run franchise in this city.
Oh yes.
When you look at like the Ravens Ravens and Steelers are probably they're also
49ers are another one that comes to mind.
The Niners are a very well-run team. John Lynch knows what he's doing.
LA.
I don't know
Rams.
how to handicap. I don't understand because the Niners are going to finish second, right? Rams.
It depends
Niners.
on what they do with their quarterback position too. NFL, it's all about one position. You either have it or you don't. And apparently the 49ers believe they have two of them.
So, like, they don't have it. They're like the exception to the rule because they don't have a franchise quarterback.
Correct.
And they're in the NFC Championship game every year.
Yeah.
They almost won last year. Very close. Jake Friel, Judy's girlfriend, already said it wasn't anything serious besides the two arguing. I wouldn't expect him to receive a major suspension from the league. But, like, that's the thing, Jake. Like, there's no guidelines.
There's no guidelines.
Like, Goodell can just if Goodell wakes up and you know, has a bad bowl of cornflakes and it's time for him to decide on Jerry Jeudy, he can do whatever he wants. Like, look at Manfred with Bauer.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it has come out, you know, with all this going on, like the Ray Rice stuff and all that, like how some of these guys are just completely blackballed from the NFL, and you don't know why. You don't know why that's happening.
Paul Mancini, Chiefs made a smart move moving Tyreek Hill for 5 draft picks.
I agree.
Plus, and then they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, you couldn't pay him.
Why?
You can't give Mahomes that much money and give a wide receiver that much money.
Why?
It just can't happen.
Why?
It's not. It's wide receiver. I don't think is that position that they demand that.
Look, this is not a regular wide receiver. And Paul, I disagree.
To me, it is. That's the difference.
Disagree with you. I think trading Tyreek Hill in his prime was asinine, especially when you have the perfect quarterback to get him the ball.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I do. How big of a step? Listen, if you're putting him as you say he's the number 1 wide receiver in the league, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
By far.
So he needs to make Tua better this year. Are you in agreement with that?
Yeah.
He has to.
Why would you think that he doesn't?
I don't think he will. I don't think he does. I don't think Tua's going to be better because he has Tyreek. I don't think Tyreek Hill's anything but a speed guy. I don't think he can really run good routes. He's okay.
He's a tactician.
I don't think he is. I think he's a speed guy.
We're talking about Tyreek Hill, right?
Yes.
He's been on the Chiefs forever.
Yes.
And he runs past everyone. He takes bubble screens to the house. He burns you deep. Burns you in the middle.
Is that him running an out? Is that him running a curl?
Dude, you need to check out YouTube.
Running a 18-yard in? No, it's not. Okay, he might have some highlights. I just don't think that's him. He runs a slant. He runs a post. And he runs a straight. That's what he does.
Paul Mancini, he thinks the Phillies have tuned out Joe Girardi. And I think he may have a excellent point there. Because I think he might be right.
I think he might be right. Again, I just Girardi, the team that is constructed for him, I don't think fits his narrative of how he wants to coach. I just don't. They're boppers, and that's it.
Don fellas, who gets more receiving receptions and TDs? A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, or Devontae Smith? I don't think there's going to be a lot of touchdowns for the receivers.
I think Goddard's going to get the most touchdowns.
Touchdowns, I'll go with Goddard. But, they get down inside the 10, inside the 5, and they let Jalen run it in.
They let Jalen run it in. And also, you got to keep in mind, these guys aren't red zone receivers. I mean, A.J. Brown is a little bit.
A.J. Brown's a house.
Yeah.
So he could be.
He could be. Yeah. But Smith definitely isn't. But most receptions, I think, is going to be Smith. I think he just runs such crisp routes that he's going to get a lot of separation now where they don't have to focus on just him. They have the other side of the field they got to focus on.
Yeah, you just take what the defense gives you. If you want to double Goddard, you want to double A. If you double any of them, especially the two receivers, they can easily get open if they're manned up.
Correct.
And then you got to make a choice with your safety.
Yeah, who you're going to go over the top and help with.
Because, we led the league in rushing last year, the Eagles did.
Yeah, well, we know that's just not what Nick Sirianni wants to do.
But if he has to do that again,
I guess
football team can do it.
Right, the offensive line can do it. You're right.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson, Kelsey.
Yeah, just let him
Big
hit
Landon Dickerson, just tee off. Yeah, they can do that. They're capable of leading the league in rushing again.
Right.
So, and you have a quarterback that runs. So they can do that. So I agree. Goddard for touchdowns. Yeah, I think you hit it. Devontae Smith in receptions.
Right. Yards could be AJ. It could be right. Every one of those categories could have a different guy in it. I can see that happening.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just safety position's an issue. That's from Bryce Blackwell. I mean, there's time.
There is time, and it sounds like there's guys out there.
June 1st comes and guys get cut, and so there's time to get people in here. But I agree, they do need a safety.
Right.
But no team is perfect.
No, every team's going to have a hole.
Not in a hard cap setting.
Right.
So if safety's our weakness, then so be it.
Yeah, at least we have the corners where you feel like that can kind of make up for safeties, hopefully. So.
Yeah, you got to put them on islands.
Right.
And have a man up with Bradberry and Slay.
And you can do that. They both are capable of doing that.
And then you have your safeties.
And you have linebackers now that seem like they can cover. Dean and White are both very sideline-to-sideline guys.
Bob Brinkman, run game will take over again. So he thinks they're going to run the ball again, and especially in the red zone.
Let me ask you a question on that. If we are saying the run game's going to take over, are you meaning Jalen Hurts is having a bad year? Or is that just the product of what Jalen Hurts is?
Well, if you're dropping Jalen Hurts back 40 times a game, that's a bad idea.
I don't think it is. See, I'm not against that. I'm okay with having 40 passes as long as you don't have 3 interceptions attached with it. Right? If you have 40 passes, he's throwing at 55%, okay, I can live with this because I know what it's going to be. It's going to be quick, hard hitting, 5-yard slants, 5-yard outs, and bubble screens. I know this is what
He's
it's going
going
to
to
be.
get overwhelmed, though, because I don't think he can read defenses the way you need to read defenses.
You don't have
be
to read defenses on those 3-step outs, right? 3-step balls out. That's what I think this offense is going to be this year.
Okay, but I haven't seen him make quick decisions like that
Okay.
yet. So I'm skeptical that it's not even like I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen. He hasn't even been in the vicinity of being able to do that.
All right. I do think he is capable of doing that. I do.
What's his ceiling? What's Jalen Hurts' ceiling?
Ceiling? I think I said it. I think 4,000 yards. It would be a hell of a year for him, and I don't know, 23 touchdowns. That's his. I think that's a hell of a year for him. But it has to be 6 interceptions or less.
Brian Blaine, beautiful weekend here in Ocean City. Disagree. The problem the past couple of years is Aaron Nola.
Stop it.
Dude isn't even a 4th or 5th starter.
Knock it off.
The way he's pitching, Familia doesn't. Being on a double stab, our bullpen needs young, fresh blood.
4 games they have blown for him this year. He's been in the game.
He's
done good. It went the 5 innings to clarify for a win.
You think Aaron Nola's an ace?
I do think he has. Yes, I do think he's an ace. I think he's an ace on a lot of teams. Yes.
But an ace is
a guy who would be 6-1 right now, which he should be.
Ifs and buts were candies and nuts, then every day would be Christmas. He's not.
You can't pick and choose who you want to blame and go with it. Like,
I mean, Brian Blaine is blaming Nola, not me. Nola's been okay.
He's been good. He's been
good.
more than okay.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
More than okay.
Look, if you're looking for me, we want a ticker tape. Like, he's not an ace. He's just not.
Then we don't have one because Wheeler's not either.
I disagree with that.
Wheeler's not an ace.
He's got off to a slow start because he didn't have spring, and he was sick.
Wheeler
rounding
will never,
into form nicely.
Ever throw 200 innings again in his career. You heard it here first. Never. He's done.
How many times did Aaron Nola pitch 200 innings? Once?
Twice, I think, already.
Wow.
And I think he'll do it this year.
But, like, you got to go 6-7. If you want the wins, you got to go 6-7.
He goes 6. He goes 6.
You got to go
has
7,
a W,
8.
And comes out and they blow it for him. No one goes 8. No one goes 8. Two pitchers. Two pitchers.
Well,
in the
there's
league
only
go
a handful of that I would put in the ace category. So, like, not every team has an ace.
No.
Like, Corbin Burns is an ace.
See, that's what I don't understand. How you put him as an ace? He had 1 year.
Because I watched.
And he hasn't been that good this year. He's been okay. He hasn't been great.
Like, Scherzer and DeGrom are aces.
They're aces, yes. When healthy, they're aces, yes.
Like, Bueller's an ace.
Yes.
Who else? Garrett Cole is an ace.
Yes. He's having a down year, though, too, this year.
He's been phenomenal. He started slow.
Yeah.
But he's rode the ship nicely. He's been dominant. And they have Nestor Cortez, too.
Right. I mean, listen, there are some aces out there.
I'm probably missing some, too.
I put Nola in that category. I really do.
So you're putting Nola in the same category as Garrett Cole?
Yeah, I think Nola gets you 6 innings, and I think that's what baseball is right now.
That's absurd. That's an absurd statement by you. Aaron Nola is nowhere near the caliber of pitcher that any of those guys I just mentioned.
Aaron Nola had 2 bad starts this year. That's it. 2 bad starts.
Okay. I mean, I said he was good, but like I'm not getting crazy. I'm not getting carried away like you. And it's the second coming. Like he's not. I like him. I'm glad he's on our team. He gives you good innings, and he's a good player.
Right.
He's a good player. But he's not a Cy Young MVP guy.
Is a 6-1.
I mean, Brian Blaine
is a 6-1 with a.
But he's not 6-1.
A 3.1.
But he's not
ERA.
6. But he's not 6-1.
Not because of anything that he has done.
What's his ERA?
3.1.
That's too high.
It's not that high anymore,
That's
man.
too high. Yeah,
And
for
he
an
has,
ace, yeah, that's it. You got to be below 3.
and he has room to be that. By the end of the year, he could be that.
Okay, but that's what we talk about with these players on these crumb teams that we have. Well, we could do that. He's got great stuff. He's got potential. Like, no, you are what you are. You are what you are. Aaron Nola is what he is.
2018, he was a Cy Young candidate.
He's pitched like an ace for 6 weeks of what, a 7-year career now.
It's not true.
It is true.
It's not true.
He only got himself into the Cy Young conversation that year
and
because
I don't know
of
this,
6 weeks.
Ralphie, if you hear that, if you're hearing this, look up how many blown wins Nola has had over the past 2 years. I want to say he's got to be in the top 5 in all baseball.
I mean,
I would feel pretty confident saying that.
No, I got the line. We want to guess what the line is week 1 for the Eagles in Detroit?
Oh, is that out?
Yeah.
Eagles -5.
Close. 4.5.
4.5?
4.5 road favorite in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, what, you thought they'd be underdogs?
No. I mean, 4.5, so that means they're what, at least a 1.5 point
they're putting
better than Detroit?
Right.
I don't know if they cover that. I bet Detroit.
I would take them. I'm taking Philly.
I would bet Detroit plus 4.5. Take Detroit plus 4.5 there. And then we got the Saints pick. They open in Atlanta.
Right.
Hopefully they throw out some stinkers.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be big favorites in that game. Atlanta could be the worst team in football this year.
4. Line's 4.
Really? That's shocking. I thought they'd be a lot bigger favorite.
How about the opener? The Bills and the Rams.
That's the best one,
Woo-hoo.
right?
I just saw that the other day. I thought the opener was
that's the Thursday night game? Yeah.
I thought I saw it was Chiefs-Chargers. They made a big announcement at the draft.
Nah.
But then I saw it's Bills-Rams. That's a game there.
That's the best game, yeah.
That's a Super Bowl preview.
Yes, it is.
Oh no, the
they got the Monday night game, right?
September 15th. So it's the second Thursday.
Who?
The Chiefs and the Chargers.
Oh, okay.
And then you got
oh yeah, they're on. Is that the doubleheader Thursday? No, it's doubleheader Monday, right?
I don't know what they're doing. Why are they doing a doubleheader in week 2?
I don't know.
And it's not really a doubleheader because one starts at 7:15
they
and
overlap.
one at 8:30.
Yeah.
They're going to overlap. The Eagles got the primetime ABC game
right
in week 2. Their
home opener. Yeah,
the home opener, Monday night against the Vikings.
Yeah, how weird is that? We start 2 games a year, both against the North.
Yeah, well, we play that whole division this year.
Right,
that's our draw.
It's usually how you don't play them. Start the season.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And Miami, New England, they're going to stink too.
When you want to start doing our basketball picks here for who you got?
Who do I got?
Yeah, you want to get into basketball before we get out of here?
Our mortal locks. Sure, we'll put in some mortal locks.
Yeah, are you taking Dallas today?
No.
No?
No.
They're at home, right? It's in Dallas today?
No, I'm taking Curry. All
right. I'm taking Dallas today. I'm taking Luka. I think he comes out and has a great game. What about all this stuff and I just heard it last game, with Dallas at Golden State with the bench standing up and the fans all around them suing them, and they're getting fined for it now and everything?
What?
Yeah, so Dallas players.
I haven't seen much of the West.
So Dallas players on the bench are standing up. So all the first 3 rows of fans, they can't see the game.
Right. Are they doing it
I guess they're doing it on purpose.
Are they just being
Mark Cuban's even involved in it. Mark Cuban's even standing up so people can't see.
So they're standing up so the people can't see on purpose.
Yeah, and they're affecting gameplay apparently because they're standing so close to the corner shot I could be wrong in this, but I believe they got fined. I believe the NBA gave them a team fine for it.
Cool. I mean,
Talk about really like finding loopholes to
well,
try to
I mean
win a game.
that means they know they're not good enough, and they got to go into a bag of tricks
Right.
to compete.
Right.
So now I like the Warriors even more.
I just find that funny. I wonder if the Warriors are going to do it today, for Dallas. If it's going to be like a little retaliation with blocking fans.
They probably won't because of the Warriors,
Right.
their definition of class, and they don't need
You're right.
shenanigans like that to win championships.
You're right.
Dallas does. They're significant underdogs in the series.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes me like the Warriors even more.
I like Dallas today, though. I don't think Luka lets that team
What's
lose
the spread?
today. I'm sure it's close. 2 points, maybe.
The Mavs laying 3 at home.
Really?
So I'll get plus 126 on my money.
That's a good bet. I do like Dallas. I don't know if I like them by 3. I think it's going to be a close game. I see it being, 116, 117 type of game.
Boston's
coming
favored
down
by
last shot.
7. Boston's favored by 7 tomorrow.
Yeah, they're significantly better, right?
Significantly? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
I agree that they're
Yeah.
better. That seems heavy. 7.
At Boston, they're down
Well,
2-1, right?
No,
I think-
there's only been 2 games, right?
No.
Split.
Last night, I think was.
Did they play last night?
Yeah, and Miami won, right? I think they're down 2-1. I think it's pretty much a must win for Boston.
Well, even the Heat won 109, 103.
Right. Yeah, I think Boston smacks them there. I think this is just a shellacking game.
I don't know. I mean, the Heat are up 2-1, live dog. Any way you slice it, and I'm getting 7. Okay,
Take it. I'm taking Boston.
But like, yeah, it's like, what's going on? Like, what are we missing? So they know something,
Right. I mean, Boston beat them by 30 game 2, and I know Miami beat them by a crapload game 1.
Yeah,
but I do see that being a shellacking. What the?
Heat are up 2-1.
Yeah.
Heat winning 7. Paul Mancini likes the Heat in 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Boston 7. I think Boston pulls it out.
So yeah, Boston's not
half
done.
to win game. I think it's a half win game. I don't think you're coming back 3-1 against Miami,
And Jimmy, how many he dropped last night?
I know Bam had a big game last night. Bam went for 31, I think, last night. Very efficient 31 too.
31 points. Jimmy only had 8, and they still won. Jimmy only played 20 minutes.
Bam went off last night. What did Hero do? He's been the one that's been kind of disappointing.
He's a stud. He only had 8.
Really?
Yeah,
he's having a bad year. A bad series.
He didn't shoot well. 4 for 15.
Yeah, he's having a bad series.
4 for 15 last night. But, like, you get Strus and P.J. Tucker.
Yeah,
and they make it okay.
Where do you find a guy like Max Strus who comes in
from Germany
and he's just in your starting lineup in playoff games? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why can't we ever find a guy like that?
Undrafted. Duncan Robinson, undrafted. Gabe Vincent, undrafted.
Like
P.J. Tucker.
Max Strus doesn't miss. The guy doesn't miss. How did every team miss on this guy?
Jaylen Brown dropped a 40 burger last night.
Yeah.
Dude, the Celtics got nothing from their bench.
Nothing.
And Tatum only had 10.
It's 2 guys, and that's I do think
Big Al
year,
Horford, Shaquille O'Neal 2.0, Big Al Horford stole money from the Sixers. Now he's a stud in Boston, and he wonders why we don't like him.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he wonders why. I think he knows.
You didn't do anything for us. Now you go to our rival, and you're a stud, and that doesn't make us happy.
You think Boston can sustain being a championship caliber team with both Tatum and Brown?
Yes. Why not?
I don't think they can. They're 2 similar players. I think one has one. They never have a good game together. They just don't have good games together.
Okay.
I don't think that it could be a championship team like that. think your superstars have to play good together.
I mean, I don't agree. I mean, you think they're going to go to the finals?
Yeah,
right?
I think. Yeah, I think they're going to go to
As
the
do I.
finals, and I think they're going to get rolled by Golden State.
You sure about that?
Golden
I think
State.
Boston's the best team left.
Golden State. They're just so good, man. And I think they match up so well against Boston too. Small versus small. Like I love Golden State.
And Golden State has the pedigree. They have
Yeah,
the guys that they've been there a million
they've
times
won
before.
Yeah.
But Tatum and Brown, like I don't understand. So you're going to go to the finals and you're going to trade one of your two best players?
I mean, they were thinking about it in the beginning of this year, right? All the heat came out how Tatum and Brown hate playing with each other, and they
Who
were
knows
fighting.
if that's true or not, though? Like,
I hear
who
you.
knows?
But on the court, you see it.
Like
they don't really have good games
It's like the
together.
stupid Flyers. They go to the Stanley Cup Finals and they trade Carter and Richards.
That came out
It's
of
stupid.
nowhere.
It's stupid. It's not. That's not. And a good, well-run franchise like the Boston
Doesn't
Celtics,
allow that to happen. Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
Okay. They don't trade. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. You don't trade good talent. I agree with you.
And what did we talk about the whole first half of the show? It's a guard league.
It is.
You need guards.
You need wings. Yeah.
Guards, wings, whatever you want to classify them as.
And they are it. They're both
terrific.
Yeah, they're both
terrific.
And they both play D.
So what are we doing? We'll do a little parlay.
You getting something in? I don't even know.
Yeah, mortal lock. I didn't do good yesterday. So you like the Mavs?
I like the Mavs. Yeah.
I do like the Phillies today.
Okay.
Eflin versus Gonsling.
Is that who's going? Eflin?
Yeah.
All right.
I like the Phillies today. Get a win.
I'll never bet on the Phillies.
It's a 9.5 over under, so I like dogs with high totals.
All right.
And it's worked out well so far. Rays and the Orioles, that's another high total, but I'm not touching that. I like the Mariners today.
Yeah, I like the Mariners.
They've
been disappointing this year.
Over under of 10. Logan Gilbert's on the hill.
He's been good.
Eovaldi he's pitching for Boston.
He's been horrible.
He's throwing batting practice.
Yeah.
I think he let up 5 home runs in the first inning.
In one inning.
Astros, good team, good lineup.
Yeah.
5 in an inning. And it's the first inning.
First pitcher to ever do that, I believe.
So they're going the wrong way. So I like that. And then I look for low totals and I take the favorites.
Okay. Makes sense.
So you got
good
7.
Theories.
So you got a 7. And then you got the Marlins. You got Alcantara against Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson, if he could ever figure out how not to walk people.
He's not a starting pitcher. I don't know why they put him as a starter.
Like, there's another one, like the Guardians today. The Guardians are a mortal lock today.
Mortal lock.
They're a mortal lock. -1.5. Get myself some plus money.
There you go.
See if it'll log me in. That's. And they're playing the Tigers. Sorry, Don.
There you go.
Bieber is gonna
be himself. He's
gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And look at the Royals favored over the Twins today.
Royals are another disappointing team. I thought they'd be better than what they are.
Based on what?
Well, what's going on with Perez?
Salvador Perez. I mean, regression was imminent. I mean, he hit 47 home runs last year as a catcher.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the signing. I mean, they got I'm going to butcher his name. Benintendi. Yeah, however you say his name.
He's not that good though.
I liked him. I thought he was a good player. I wanted the Phillies to get him.
It's like he's just a guy.
It's an upgrade for what we have.
Maybe.
Can't have all-stars everywhere, Rob.
This is why I could never be a GM in baseball. I would never even, if you don't have a good payroll or you're not going to let me go over the tax,
right?
I'm not interested in your
But isn't it easy being the Yankees and just saying, I'll go and get anyone? Doesn't that make the game easier?
It does make the game easier, but the Yankees that's
not fun to me, though.
The Yankees haven't won a championship since 2009.
Please, why can't I would love to have we haven't won a championship in 2009, but we have 30 of them in our whole life.
They're in the mix. I get it, but like you say, it's easy to just go out and spend money.
It is,
but it's not. They don't win. They haven't won in 10 years, 15 years.
Right.
So there's more to it than that.
And also in the past 15 years, they really haven't been spending money like they have in previous years.
Yeah, Joe, come on down. Joe Horkovsky, he's a big fan. He's coming down in June.
Nice.
And he's going to come stop by.
We'll be here.
We'll be here.
We're going to start up the Monday night show, too.
Yeah,
right?
Sports Hounds are going to be here on the boardwalk.
Every
Me and
Monday
Brad,
night.
we're selling hats in the day, and we're spitting fire on A2D Radio on the Ocean City Boardwalk every Monday night.
Yep.
We'll probably do that next weekend's Memorial Day. We'll start that next week.
Next weekend, yep.
So we'll be doing that. We have like a new announcement for the people every week. I think we're going to have a couple big ones coming up, too.
A couple big ones coming up, too.
A couple monster announcements coming up, it sounds like.
Yeah, you guys got to follow A2D, follow All Campus on Instagram. We got a couple hot new things coming out in the hat world here.
All right, that'll do it for the Rant Booth. He's John Coyle. I'm Rob Brinkman. Thank you to Ralphie Delavecchio for producing the show. Come on down. Gorgeous day here at Ocean City. We're at All Campus between 10th and 11th Street. Get some hats, go on the beach, some pizza. It's a nice day. Until next Sunday, peace out, everybody.